Gilmore Girls gets therapized. Jess breaks up with Rory. And by breaks up, I mean avoids entirely. Mended light. All right, as some of you know, I have something of a rocky viewing relationship with the character of Jess and a bit of a rocky relationship with some of you because of my thoughts on Jess. And this is, I'm just going to say it, one of his harshest moments. But I understand it. I understand it as a classic avoider. I'm not an avoider anymore, but I lived a lot of my life that way because Jess wants to make things right with Rory and he just doesn't know how. So context, you may remember Jess tried to sleep with Rory, Rory pushed him off, and then Jess and Dean got into a fight.
Where the hell have you been? This place is a freaking zoo. Every table's full, and I've got Sammy Davis Jr. here thinking it's the Desert Inn.
And to run an errand.
Everybody's complaining we're out of ham. Caesar suddenly decided to join the slow food movement, and I've got a guy who's moved in at a table for 4. He just sits, making it impossible for me to turn over that table. And if I can't turn over that table, then that cuts way back on my tips.
I'm sorry, don't you mean my tips?
What?
You know where I was this morning?
No?
I was at Kyle's. His parents called me this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Seems a little party you went to last night got a little Animal House, huh?
Dean started it.
Oh, you're not really gonna use that one, are you?
Well, he did. He sucker punched me, and I was just defending myself.
Oh, apparently you defended yourself all the way through the house and out into the front yard. You defended yourself with a chair that is now broken. You defended yourself with a coffee table. You defended
It was a
yourself
full-on
with
Jackie
an
Chan
auto-
fight.
I don't need a recap.
Do you have any idea how much damage you caused?
Dean caused it, too.
The place was trashed.
Dean trashed it, too.
Are you trying to kill me?
Nope, it'll just be a perk.
Okay, well, here's the deal. From now on, every cent that you make here goes toward paying them back.
Hey, what about...
Dean's paying them back also.
How do you know?
Because he was at Kyle's house when I got there.
You're kidding me.
He had already worked out a financial agreement with the parents and was helping them put a fence back up.
Man, he's gonna make some woman a fine doormat someday.
You are making good on this, Jess.
I have to get more coffee out of the storeroom.
Every cent is getting paid back. I never want those people calling me again.
All right, so Jess, not a lot of accountability, total defensiveness. And I get those who have compassion. Jess comes from a rough background, and this is why therapy matters, by the way. Because Jess never really learned how to sit with the consequences of his actions, how to take accountability, how to make things right. And frankly, he's a little pissed at Dean because he sees Dean as white knighting, he sees Dean as going to be a fine doormat someday. But Dean's actually just trying to make things right. Accountability and facing consequences and making amends is not weakness. It does not make you less of a man. And Jess is having a hard time seeing it right now because he's threatened by Dean's accountability. So Rory, still caring greatly for Jess, but hurt by him. But she's like, I shouldn't be the one to make the first move. I shouldn't be the one to mend fences. This is a brilliantly staged little scene, little nonverbal scene. I love Luke just watching the back and forth. And here goes Jess. But what's going on here? What would I say, is what Jess is thinking. He knows he's screwed up royally. Feels like there's no way to even make things right, but I gotta try, and then he gets scared, and he just comes on back. See, this is why therapy matters. When people dump on my profession as a family therapist, as a relationship counselor, and they think we're a bunch of head shrinkers and a bunch of quacks, maybe I could get them to watch this scene from Gilmore Girls and say, this is why what we do matters. Because people want relationships, they want to heal connections, but very often they have no idea how to do it. And that is a learned skill. Perspective taking, accountability taking, humility, and most of all, overriding our natural defensiveness, our natural pride, our natural ego, or our desire to avoid uncomfortable situations. You can be trained in how to do that. And you can practice it until making things right and healing connections is just your default setting. And Jess doesn't know how to do that yet, which is why he's going to lie to Rory in this next scene. clutches pearls. There he is. He does have fantastic hair. Even 20 plus years later, I would kill for that hair.
Hey,
Hey.
can I sit?
Sure, sit. Thought you took an earlier bus.
My first class got canceled today.
Oh. So what's been going on?
Nothing much. Friend died.
I heard.
I went to a funeral yesterday.
Luke went too.
I saw him there.
Yeah?
He was in the back.
He needs to tell her he's sorry. He needs to tell her he can't go to prom because he's been ditching school.
I can't go to the prom.
Oh, okay. I forgot that he did that. Good for you.
Get tickets.
Oh,
Sorry.
Disappointing, but at least honest.
Okay.
you'll call me?
Yeah, I'll call you.
I will. I won't say anything, but I will call and be a mouth breather into the receiver like a serial killer in some babysitting slasher movie. He's got an entire duffel bag. He's leaving. So this is a rough scene to give commentary on because he does, at the very least, tell her I can't go to prom. He does want her to hear that from him instead of just skipping town and she's wondering what happened. But he still skips town and she does wonder what happens. And he doesn't tell her any context other than just, hey. Why? Again, because he's not practiced. But also, he's on a bus out of town when she catches the same bus to take a couple stops to get to school. If she hadn't been on the same bus, this conversation wouldn't have happened. He's in full avoider mode. Why? Because he's putting himself first. It's a survival instinct. He is afraid. He's not truly afraid of hurting her. He's afraid of hurting her and being present to witness it and feeling the shame of it. It's kind of like the difference, if you'll pardon the comparison, between dropping a bomb on a city of faceless people because you're so high up and actually engaging in combat face to face and knowing that you're taking a life and you see the person in front of you. Now, I know that's a much bigger, more dramatic example, but the principle is still the same. If I leave town, I will know in the back of my mind that Rory is suffering because I left, I didn't explain anything to her, we never had a conversation, I didn't give her any closure. But there's a difference between that and actually facing it head on. And that's scary. But it's also selfish. It's selfish to not give, in this case, to give Rory that. It takes a lot of courage to sit with, I made a lot of mistakes. I made mistakes based on fear. I made mistakes based on insecurity. I made mistakes based on good intentions but bad judgment calls where I was trying to do the right thing and I just completely screwed it up. It takes courage to sit with the person that you've hurt and to acknowledge that. I know because I've done it. But it also shows respect. It also shows I'm not going to put my comfort or discomfort before you and your feelings and your needs, especially when I am the source of your pain. The very least I can do is face it head on. And because he doesn't, he absolutely breaks Rory's heart, and she finds the strength to let him go, which I don't think is an endorsement for his behavior as much as an acknowledgement of if you disrespect someone hard enough, they're not going to pine for you anymore or want you in their life.
Hello? Hello?
Ken,
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of those lately.
this is the...
Hello?
I'm sorry,
Hello?
this is a serial killer move, to call someone and then just sit there in silence and breathe into the phone.
Jess? Is that you? Jess, I'm pretty sure it's you, and I'm pretty sure you've been calling and not saying anything but want to say something. Hello? You're not going to talk? Fine, I'll talk. You didn't handle things right at all. You could have talked to me. You could have told me that you were having trouble in school and weren't going to graduate and that your dad had been there, but you didn't. And you ended up not taking me to my prom and not coming to my graduation and leaving again without saying goodbye again. And that's fine, I get it, but that's it for me. I'm going to Europe tomorrow, and I'm going to Yale, and I'm moving on. And I'm not going to Pine. I hope you didn't think I was going to Pine, okay? I think I may have loved you, but I just need to let it go. So, that's it, I guess. I hope you're good. I want you to be good, and, okay, so goodbye. That word sounds really lame and stupid right now, but there it is. Goodbye.
It's rough. I have sympathy for Jess here. I understand what it is to feel so ashamed of hurting someone that you care about that you want to just run and hide and crawl into a cave and die and never face them. I get that sentiment. I get the feeling. And some of you may say, well, he's calling her and not speaking to at least give her the chance to say what she has to say. And that's fair. And he does do that, to his credit. He sits there and he listens and he takes it. And something I said in a previous video applies here. These are just kids. I know I've been hard on them in the past, but at the end of the day, these are teenagers with not fully developed frontal lobes, zero life experience, feeling their way in the dark and trying to figure this out. And we do see later on in the show a more evolved Jess who is mature and accountable and able to show up. And so I honor that journey, but here this is so relatable. How do we override that? How do we work through that? I think for Jess, the fact that he's avoiding all of this and hurting Rory actually is going to send him deeper into his avoidance, deeper into his self-loathing, deeper into his shame, and deeper into his need to mask all of that with this tough guy bravado of I don't care about anything, and anyone who shows that they care is going to be a fine doormat one day. We don't grow if we don't face things. We don't grow if we don't own things. And when I talk about growing, what does that mean specifically? It means increased resilience. It means increased compassion. It means increased ability to connect and enjoy healthy relationships, because we are social creatures, and at differing levels, of course, but we all have that need. The thing that makes me really sad for Rory is obvious. How Jess mistreated her, how Jess abandoned her, how he didn't face things, didn't speak to her, didn't respect her enough to put her before his discomfort and the things he wanted to avoid. The reasons I have sympathy for Jess is because he may be the bad guy in the situation, and it's easy to look at him and write him off as just being a jerk and an a-hole. But at the end of the day, most people who do hurtful things are hurting and afraid and insecure. And the things that they do that are hurtful not only hurt the people they care about, it hurts them. And it keeps them from finding that peace. Jess, in that last shot, is not a man at peace. He is full of turmoil and self-loathing. And in my experience, the only way through that is to face it. The only way through that is to own it, to engage in perspective taking, and to try and do right by others. So what do you think about how Jess's main story arc, because he's no longer a major player on the show after this, we have a couple of cameos later on. We have a couple, like he shows up for an episode. So Jess's main arc completes here. What do you think about how the show handles it, and what do you learn from this story? What are your takeaways? Let me know in the comments below. I've got a whole Gilmore Girls playlist for you to enjoy. Link for that is going to be on the screen, also in the description. You can click, lots of click options for you there. Until next time, folks, keep shining. We need your light.